what's up guys, it's Austin here and welcome back to the last episode of Launchpad tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to make basic light shows for the Launchpad. You might see many of YouTubers, they post their own Launchpad remakes with some really cool light shows. And in this video I'm going to show you how to make them. To start off, connect your Launchpad to your computer and hit user 1 mode. And then in Ableton, right over here, you only need one MIDI column for now. And then remember to click in for monitor, and then MIDI 2, by default, it's no output. Click on the device you have. For me, I have the Launchpad MK2. And then for channels, I'm gonna use channel 6. I don't know what Launchpad you have, and I don't know if they use the same channel. So maybe it's different. I don't know. You might need to search it online. And then after that, go to categories, MIDI effects, and MIDI effect rack. Drag that down and then release it. To extract it, click on show in high chain list and then click on key. Right over on drop MIDI effects here, right click and then create a chain. What that means is that every key on the Launchpad has the same effect. For example, for default, pressing a key has this like yellow light showing. Every button right over here, as you can see, has the same effect. But if you want one button to have a special effect, for example, this one, by doing that, you need to hold on to this button or the button you want to change, and then double click on the chain right over here. And then after that, it minimizes to only this one, C1, which is this button right over here. And you could start adding effects right over here. These right over here, there are 7 effects for Ableton. I'm just going to briefly explain how do these effects work and how to use them. Alright, so the first effect is arpeggiator. If you want to if you want an effect, just simply drag it down and paste it right over there. Arpeggiator is basically how fast the light blinks or flashes. For example, right over here, there's many styles. Right over here, up and down, down and up, whatever. What it means is that, for example, up means that if it goes up like that, in this motion, going up and going up, constantly going up, forever. Down, the same, it just goes down. What people mistaken is that up and down and up, down, and up and down. The difference between up, down, and up and down is that up and down goes up, stays here, goes down, and then kind of stays here and goes up, and then does that motion on and on again. And you can play with the styles. It's kind of cool. And there's other functions for arpeggiator. For the rates right over here, it controls the speed of how fast the button blinks. For example, by default it's 1/8, so it blinks kind of like this. It blinks normally, and it's the fastest is 1 out of 128, which blinks insanely. And then the rate, if it's 1, it blinks really slow, freaking slow, which you might not use. sync right over here. It syncs, basically what it syncs is that the tempo right over here, by default it's 120 beats per minute, and it synchronizes the beat right over there. So if you're doing a Launchpad remake, you might need to change it to like 128, and the rates would also change too, so it's consistent with your song. And of course, if you don't like it, you could click on free mode, which shows the how many milliseconds it flashes. It goes by milliseconds, and then so the fastest is 10 milliseconds, and the slowest is 1 second per flash or blink. And gate right over here, what gate means is that how much it shows the effect of the blinking. What it means is that, for example, it's 50%, it's default 50%, and then if I change it to 1%, as you could see, it's not really blinking. It's like only a little bit. And if I change it to 200, which is the maximum, you only could see you could barely see it's blinking. It's kind of like flickering, but it's not really blinking. So guys, I recommend to stay for default for gate. And repeats, what repeats mean is like how many times it repeats the flash. So by default it's infinite. So I press this button, it goes on and on and on until I release it. If I only use it 10, if I select 10 right over here, only blinks for 10 times, then it goes off. So that's what repeat means. Okay, so that's basically it for Arpeggiator. Alright, so the next effect is chord. Chord is one of the main effects, and it's one of my favorite effects, and Ableton. What it does is that it layouts what notes has that effect. So for example, just to let you guys know that the block or the button that you want to edit, just think of it as 0. It's easier to remember that because for example, if you press 1, 2, and 3 right over here, because there are like 6 of the there's 6 spaces for you to edit, and then 0 is the notes that you're going to edit. And so if you press 1, 2, 3 right over here, these 4 boxes light up. And you might think that, oh, if I want this whole row to light up, just add 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that's it. But well, it's not that. It doesn't go that way. Unfortunately, there are, like I said before, there are only 6 spaces for you to edit. So even though if you use all these, there will still be one block that is missing. And also number 4, because I mean like 0, 1, 2, 3, and then if you think this is 4, this is actually not 4. 4 is actually right over here. To prove it to you guys, I'm going to press 4 right over here, and it will go here, not over here, like so. Why? Because it's a Launchpad format, and I don't know why they do that. It counts it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it goes on and on and on to 32, 33, 34, 35, and to 64. So if you want to add 1 over here, if you want this one to light up, you should add 32, like so. So this lights up. And if you want the whole row to light up, what you need to do is to add a new chord beside it. And what it does is that it duplicates it and it moves it around. So the first chord right over here, the first chord box, it says that there's four buttons that will light up. And if I add 32 right over here, it moves it duplicates this and it moves 32 spaces right over here. so the whole row lights up like so. And so basically that's what chord does. And so the next effect is note length. What it does, it's basically really easy to tell. It's the length of the effect. So for 100 milliseconds, which is by default, it's like this. It blinks, it flashes like this. It's kind of short. The shortest is 10 milliseconds, which you really can't see the effect, and 60 seconds, that will last like a minute, like that. And if you accidentally do this, and then you're like, oh, how do I stop this? Simply just press the space key, the space button on your PC or your computer, and that'll stop the effect. And so that's basically it for note length. Pitch. Pitch is basically, like I said before, the note that you want to edit, just think of it as 0. And so, like I did before, I added chords by doing 1, 2, 3. That makes it like these 4 boxes light up. And what pitch does is that it could move the light effect up, down, or anywhere, even though you're pressing on this button. So for example, I want to move it up to here. Well, I will add 12 to the pitch, and it moves up to here, even though I'm pressing this button, like so. And that's basically it for pitch. And random and scale, basically I don't really use those 2 effects because they aren't really useful. What I heard is that scale is basically like the boundary or something for the Launchpad, so the light effect won't go overboard or something like that. But basically, I don't really use scale. It's kind of useless for me. So that's it. And random. What random does is the opposite of what I want to do. It basically chooses random areas. So for example, I'm pressing this button. If I use the chance to 100%, the next time I hit this button, it goes to other places. For example, like this, it goes to like random places right over here in this 4x4 boxes. And for choices, it means I don't know what each choice mean, but it's 1 to 24 choices you could select. And yeah, and scale, I don't really know what scale does, but well, I don't really use this effect. So what basically it does, basically it's like it moves around and around, and I don't want my effects to move around and around because I want it to be in like a certain point, so it looks better. So that's basically for random. And the last effect is velocity. What velocity does is basically it changes the color of the note. So if you could see right over here, out high, it's 127. And that's the default yellow right over here. If you want to change the color, just simply just change the numbers of out high. For example, if you want to change it to red, it's about 6. It's like 6, so it's red. And I don't know. You could change the colors according to what you want. You could pull it up and then press it to like test which color it will be. And so yeah, you could change it. And for random right over here, it's different from the random that I told you guys right over here. What random right over here it does is that it's, I don't know why it's not from 0 to 100%, but it's 0 to 64. What it does is that, for example, I'm changing this to 6, it's red, and oh, that's Alpha. Changing it to 6, this is red, right? And then if I change random to like 1 or to 2, the next time I press it, it gives out the similar colors. For example, it's kind of like it fades out. It's like this is simple red, and then this is kind of like pinkish. It's similar to red. It's similar colors. But if I turn this to 64, each time I press it, it's like way different colors. That's basically it for random right over here. And so that's it for these 7 effects. Well, you guys might think that, oh, so how should I make? You already taught me these 7 effects, and what should I do next to make a light show effect? Well, it's kind of easy. You just need to combine the effects that I told you guys and like play it around, and then basically you could make a really good light effect. To show you guys that, I'm just going to show you some small light effects, and I will just fast forward the video and I'll show you the outcome. See you guys later.
A few moments later.
Alright, so what I basically did is I made an effect, a really simple effect, by using pitch, chord, and arpeggiator. And what I did is like this blinking X right over here. It's kind of cool. Yeah. So how I did it is that, like, for the first chain, I did this one, because there are four of them. There's 4 legs of it. So how I did this one is that I used chord and an arpeggiator to make it flash. And for the others, it's basically I just added pitch to move this one over, even though I'm pressing this one. And that's basically it. That's basically how I did this. Hope you guys like this video. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions. Just ask me. Just comment, and then I'll answer it as soon as possible. And don't forget to subscribe.